Welcome to the explainer. You know that feeling when you're just stuck? Trapped by worry? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how to flip that script, how to turn that endless cycle of stress into a clear, actionable plan. So, here's our game plan. First up, we're going to shine a light on what worry really is and talk about something called the helplessness trap. You know, that thing that keeps us spinning our wheels. Then, we'll get into the secret sauce, shifting your mindset to break free. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by building your very own action plan to make real, tangible progress. Sound good? Okay, let's dive right in. Section 1. Look, you can't solve a problem if you don't know what it is, right? So let's get to the bottom of it. Where does all this stress and worry actually come from? So let me ask you, does this feel familiar? Are you trapped by worry? I mean, we all worry. That's just human. But it becomes a real problem when it's a loop. You know, that hamster wheel in your brain, just going over and over the what ifs, but never ever getting to the what now? That's the trap. And yeah, if we look at where this worry comes from, it's probably no surprise. It's the big stuff, right? Our jobs, our health, our relationships, our money. It's that nagging feeling, that gap between the life we have and the life we want. That's where the stress really takes root. Okay, so when we're stuck in that worry loop, it's kind of funny. It's often our own reaction that keeps us stuck there. It's this vicious cycle of doing nothing. So let's pull this apart and look at what's called the helplessness trap. And this brings us to a really, really key idea, the helplessness trap. This is that place we go where all our energy, all of it, goes into complaining and blaming. You know the drill. It's my boss's fault. It's the economy. It's just my luck. And what's the result? We feel completely powerless. So we do nothing. It's a perfect, self-defeating cycle. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. You've got two basic states you can live in. On one side, you have helpless. That's the victim mindset. It just sucks the energy right out of you, and all you can see is the problem. But on the other side, you've got powerful. This is where you're in charge. It actually creates energy, and your focus shifts completely to finding solutions. But here's the kicker, and this is so important. You can't be both at the same time. It's one or the other. You have to make a choice. All right, so this is the pivot point. This is the big aha moment. Before you can change a single thing out there in the real world, you have to change what's going on in here. You have to shift your state of being. So this next part is all about how we do that, how we take back the controls. Step 1 is all about making a conscious decision. The advice here is to literally write this down. I release the need of being helpless. Now that might sound simple, but think about it. It's a huge step. It's about letting go of that victim mindset. And, you know, sometimes there's a strange comfort in being the victim, isn't there? This is about letting that go. So once you've let go of the old way of thinking, you have to actively build the new one. The next statement to write down is, I have decided to be powerful. And listen, this isn't some fluffy affirmation. No, this is a conscious, deliberate choice. It's you telling your brain, okay, we're changing direction now, we're moving towards solutions. And then, the final piece of the puzzle that just locks it all in, I have decided to take charge of my life. This, right here, is the ultimate shift. It's the difference between being a passenger, just along for the ride, and being the driver. You're grabbing the steering wheel and saying, from now on, I'm in control. Okay, so writing these things down is a fantastic start. But how do we really make it stick? How do we supercharge it? Let's get into that. So how do you really burn these new ideas into your brain? Well, there's a really simple but surprisingly powerful exercise for this. The whole point is to get these new, powerful messages past your conscious mind and deep down, so they can start rewriting those old, negative tracks that have been playing on repeat for years. It's called the mirror exercise, and it's just 3 simple steps. You go to a mirror, you look yourself right in the eye, and you say those 3 new statements out loud. And not just mumbling, I mean with some real force and belief behind it. There's something powerful that happens when you see and hear yourself declare this new reality. It makes it feel real, right now, and it can give you an incredible jolt of energy. All right? So once you've done that inner work, once you've shifted your state from helpless to powerful, you're going to notice something. You'll have more energy, more clarity, and now it's time to point all that newfound power at the actual problem. And the main tool for this is a method called thinking on paper. The idea is so simple but so effective. Stop trying to figure things out just in your head. When you physically write your thoughts down, it's like you're untangling a knotted mess. It cuts through all that mental noise and lets clear, practical solutions bubble up to the surface. So, for every single thing you're worried about, you're going to follow this exact 3-step process. First, you ask the question, what action can I take to make this work? Second, you list out 3 to 5 concrete actions you can take, small, doable things. And third, and you cannot skip this is the most important part, you give every single action a specific due date. Because let's be honest, an action without a deadline is just a wish. It's a nice idea that's probably never going to happen. And that right there brings us to the core formula of this entire explainer. It's so simple. First, you shift your being. Then you plan your doing. You see, effective action out in the world can only come after you've changed your internal state. You have to feel powerful on the inside first before you can be powerful on the outside. Being comes before doing. Always. So there you have it. We've walked through the whole journey, from seeing the trap of worry to shifting your state of mind, all the way to building a real plan. The tools are all here. The power is literally in your hands. So the only question left is, looking at your life right now, what is the one thing you're going to take charge of starting today?